This is BNN.
Bruin News Now is made possible by the generous support of C-Spire, St. Dominic's, Orange Theory Fitness Hattiesburg, Salamukis Madison, Blue Sky Landscaping and Maintenance, Bank Plus, and these fine sponsors. This week on the show, we talked to several recent St. Joe alumni who are attending seminary with dreams of being a Catholic priest. Father Lincoln Dahl in Clinton has developed an important prison ministries program. And Easter weekend looks like a great one, starting off with a Good Friday highlighted by nice spring temperatures. Weather, sports, and all the news are next. Bruin News Now for Thursday, March 28, 2024 begins right now. From the BNN headquarters on the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is a special edition of Mississippi's High School News Leader, the state's #1 student-produced weekly newscast, Bruin News Now. This week, reporting from the Catholic Diocesan offices in downtown Jackson.
Howdy everyone, I'm Emerson Irwin.
And I'm Maddie Claire Spence. Welcome to the special Holy Week edition of Bruin News Now. As you can see, we're not in our usual location. Today we are in downtown Jackson at the Cathedral of St. Peter the Apostle.
This week is Holy Week, the holiest week of the church calendar, in which we honor and remember Jesus' last week of life on earth. Here at the Cathedral, as at other Catholic churches here and around the world, everyone is preparing for Holy Thursday Mass today.
The Mass marks the first day of the Easter Triduum, which will include Good Friday service and the Great Easter Vigil Saturday night. And of course, those who don't attend the Vigil will be at the Easter Sunday Mass.
Holy Week services began with the Chrism Mass here at the Cathedral on Tuesday, when priests renewed their priestly vows and the bishop blessed the holy oils used in sacraments throughout the year. The St. Joe Choir participated and performed.
Also joining the Mass were several seminarians studying for the priesthood, including some of our very own St. Joseph Catholic School alumni. BNN's Adriana Terrazas caught up with them and filed this report.
This week, a group of Bruin News Now journalists had the privilege of attending the Chrism Mass at the Cathedral of St. Peter the Apostle in downtown Jackson. I met up with a group of alumni who you've probably heard mentioned around campus: Will Fogo, E.J. Martin, Grayson Foley, and Joe Pearson. These 4 alumni have embarked on a special journey towards the vocation of priesthood. Will and E.J. are studying at Notre Dame Seminary in New Orleans, Louisiana, while Grayson and Joe are attending St. Joseph Seminary College in St. Benedict, Louisiana.
I started to hear God in prayer regarding this vocation, and I was very scared. I was actually pretty hesitant, but through more prayer, through the sacraments, through counseling with other priests, I felt more confident that God was calling me to the priesthood.
Each seminarian described the important role that the religious education they received at St. Joe played in high school, throughout college, and during the discernment process.
Through our spiritual formation and our religious education, and it really, planted a seed in my heart for love of Christ and for love of His church.
The sacraments are regularly offered at St. Joe on campus, and it is something that many students take advantage of. Weekly Mass, adoration on Fridays, and reconciliation services are all things that the entire school participates in, and it sets St. Joe apart from other schools.
St. Joe was crucial in my discernment for providing the atmosphere and the environment to cultivate a good spirituality by providing sacraments and classes, theology classes, and so many other spiritual supports for those trying to live for the faith.
St. Joe really helped me to discern a call to the priesthood by providing friendships and relationships with faculty and priests that carried into my college years and really kind of helped me to have the foundation to be able to discern a call to the priesthood.
Having 4 St. Joe graduates that are now seminarians studying for the priesthood proves how strong the religious basis that St. Joe sets is and continues to be. Keep praying for these 4 seminarians. I'm Adriana Terrazas for BNN.
Thanks, Adriana. It's great to see our St. Joe alumni answering the call of God. Their stories are inspiring to all of us at St. Joseph Catholic School and throughout the Catholic Church.
And it was great to see them in Jackson to participate in the Chrism Mass on Tuesday. We mentioned earlier that St. Joe itself had a major presence at the Mass. The Bruin Choir participated again this year.
While other students in grades 8 through 12 stayed on campus Tuesday for a day of testing, including the ACT for members of the junior class, the choir trekked to the cathedral for Mass.
Students either took their standardized tests before Mass or took them after they returned from Mass. Meanwhile, the choir added a nice touch to this year's Chrism Mass. As we said earlier, today is Holy Thursday and marks the start of the Easter Triduum. And St. Joseph Catholic School will be closed Friday, March 29th for Good Friday, and again on Monday, April 1st for Easter Monday. These two holidays are the last ones for the 2023 to 2024 school year. When classes resume at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, April 2nd, it will be a straight shot from then all the way to the last final exam in May.
While St. Joe students, faculty, and staff celebrated Holy Week Mass on Wednesday, the Bruin junior class went on their full-day retreat. The junior retreat was hosted by Net Ministries at Holy Savior in Clinton. Net Ministry retreats are unique to the junior class. Students participate in games, Bible study, and much more. The last of this year's class retreats will be at the sophomore class retreat set for Wednesday, April 10th, also at Holy Savior.
Bruinthon registration is due Friday, April 5th if you want a t-shirt. The final deadline for all participants is Friday, April 19th. The annual fundraising event is set for Friday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bring all forms and your $10 registration fee to Ms. Catherine Blanchard or the front office. Remember, all participants must have a minimum donation of $100 and your registration fee is counted towards your donation. All money raised from this annual event will go to Blair E. Batson Children's Hospital. Coming up, Jason Buckley and Davis Hammond have the latest in Bruin sports.
And Luke Jones has your Easter weekend forecast. Stick around for sports and weather next.
Hey Bruins, I'm Jason Buckley.
And I'm Davis Hammond.
And this is your Bruin News Now Sports Report. Topping sports this week is Bruin baseball. The Bruins finally opened MAIS District 6A play on Tuesday when they played on the road at Hartfield Academy. This is the first year Bruin baseball has played in this district.
And Tuesday night was a rough start as the Bruins fell to Hartfield. After a rough week last week, they saw the Bruins lose to Lloyd Star at home and on the road. The Hartfield loss added to the pain.
The good thing is Bruins, now 12-6 on the year, can bounce back tonight when they play once more at Hartfield. First pitch night is 4:30 p.m. for the JV team and 6:30 p.m. for the varsity team.
The Bruins also will face Hartfield once more, this time at home in an afternoon game Friday right here at DM Howie Field. The JV will not play Friday, only the varsity will see action with first pitch at 1 p.m.
Friday is a holiday, so head out to campus to cheer on your Bruins to a win.
And we are going to clean it up on defense and have some more quality at bats.
Last week, the tennis team lost 5-4 against PCS and also lost 5-4 against St. Augustine. Bruin Tennis had no matches this week. However, the team is set to tackle a major community service project. Tennis players will help Shower Power on Good Friday for their Good Friday project.
Team members and coach Leanne Peroni believe that the service project is a great way for the team to give back to those in need.
We've been raising money all year to make money for Penn's Catfish, which we're giving out to the homeless people in Jackson. We've been doing it for 3 years, and it's been the highlight of my year every year.
Finally, 2 Bruin soccer players signed scholarships offers last week to play at the next level beginning next fall. Bruin seniors Fritz Barber and Braylon Poindexter were surrounded by friends and family when they made it official.
Barber signed to play soccer at Northwest Mississippi Community College, Senatobia, just south of Memphis, and Braylon has signed with Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College in Perkinston.
Being able to sign with Northwest is just a huge blessing, and it's just a great opportunity, and hopefully Braylon and me can use our gifts to excel in the next level.
That's it for this edition of the Bruin News Now Sports Report. It's been a short but busy week.
Join us again next week for more in Bruin Sports. I'm Jason Buckley.
And I'm Davis Hammond.
Go Bruins.
What's up, Bruins? I'm Luke Jones, the affable and far-sighted weather wizard, back again to report your weekend weather. This is Holy Week. Today is Holy Thursday, and for the rest of today, expect sunny skies with a high of 67 and a low tonight of 43. For Easter weekend, you can expect more of the same. For tomorrow, which is Good Friday, look for sunny skies and a few clouds, with a high of 72 and a low of 52. On Saturday, look for partly cloudy skies, a high of 78 and a low of 58. If you are attending the Great Easter Vigil Mass on Saturday night, dress warm because the first part outside will see temperatures in the upper 60s. On Easter Sunday, it will be cloudy with a high of 80 and a low of 65. No rain is expected throughout the next several days. I'm going to tell you a joke one more time. What happens when fog lifts in California? UCLA. That's it for your weekend weather outlook. Have a great Easter. Before we head back to Emerson and Maddie Claire, let's go to BNN's Stella McCarty, who has a really good story to share, a look at Father Lincoln Dahl's prison ministry. Stella?
I'm Stella McCarty for BNN. Whatever you did for the least of my people, you did unto me. Matthew 25:40. Father Lincoln Dahl, the priest at Holy Savior Catholic Church in Clinton, Mississippi, truly puts this into practice. Father Dahl works in prison ministry, which he became involved in only 2 months after becoming a priest. A man in the Raymond County Detention Center who was incarcerated for murder and awaiting trial reached out to Father Dahl. Father Dahl met with the inmate every week or every other week for 6 months until the trial. The inmate had 2 options, the death penalty or the plea bargain with life in prison without parole. Father Dahl met with him every day, guiding him through the process and helped him make the decision to take the life in prison. The inmate converted to the Catholic faith after this experience with Father Dahl. This is about 16 years ago.
People in society have a view of prisoners and, they come from very different walks of life. They've committed very different crimes. They're in there for different reasons. I guess I have more compassion for them now because I see how a lot of them, went through a lot of struggles or maybe a very difficult childhood. When you see how their lives sort of get on the wrong track, it helps explain, why they're in there. So I guess, there are people like us, and I guess, as I mentioned, I just have more compassion for them now and see them as human beings, probably more than I did before.
Over Father Dahl's 16 years of working with prisoners, Father Dahl has touched the hearts of many inmates. One inmate says, after meeting Father Lincoln and seeing the care, compassion, and conviction in his loving spirit, I was overwhelmed with the hope that I could be loved by God again. But not only has Father Dahl impacted inmates, they impact him. He remembers a certain inmate who really took to the faith.
He was on death row for about 15 years and held in isolation, and his case went back to trial, and he moved from death row to life in prison without parole. When I met him a couple years ago, he was transferred to prison where I'm at now in Pearl, where I do the prison ministry. When he first started coming to Mass, I actually knew some of his family members at a parish where I was at, and he said, Father Lincoln, I'm not Catholic. I like coming to your Mass, but I would never join the church. Well, about 6 months later, he did join the church. He's one of our leaders, very involved. He's actually an altar server at the Masses. So I've just seen a tremendous change in him. You can imagine being on death row and being in isolation for so many years. I would say it's really sort of messed him up psychologically, but I've seen him just an amazing change in his journey of faith. And it's really touched me to see how him and some of the prisoners are changed by our prison ministry.
Father Dahl has seen a change in the prisoners he works with. They have grown a sense of community with one another. They help each other, support each other, and take care of one another.
I know I and many others have been touched by Father Lincoln Dahl's prison ministry. I'm Stella McCarty for BNN.
Thanks, Stella. Great story. Joining us on set now to talk a little bit about Father Lincoln's prison ministries is Bishop Kopaz. Bishop, thank you for joining us today.
Very welcome.
So we just talked a little bit about Father Dahl's prison ministry. Can you share your thoughts on its importance and significance?
Father Lincoln Dahl has been serving in prison ministry for a few years now, and it's a ministry that has developed beautifully. Remember, part of Matthew's gospel at the end, Jesus is saying, when I was in prison, you visited me. So it's a very important mission of our church, and Father Lincoln has embraced it wholeheartedly, and he's been developing it now for a few years, and it takes time. And it's not just a matter of Father Lincoln going with his team. That's really the beginning, but then developing within the prison various ministries. So you actually have those who are incarcerated serving and organizing and inviting.
And with this being Holy Week, earlier in the show we took a look at St. Joe alumni who are now seminarians for the diocese. Can you tell us how important and significant that is?
This week is really a high point with the priests who renew their vows every year at the Chrism Mass. Seminarians will serve at the Chrism Mass, and then they'll disperse to some parishes for the Triduum. But our seminarians are doing very well. We have at this time 7 who are in formation and discerning, and 4 are from St. Joe's. And that is such a blessing. And we're grateful to them and their families and the school community through the years. So they're all at a little different stage. But again, that just speaks so well of our school community. So we're very grateful, and we ask your prayers for our seminarians and priests, and God's blessing upon all of you as the sacred Triduum unfolds and we prepare for Easter.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Bishop Kopacz. We know you have a lot to do to prepare for this weekend's Easter celebration. Well, that's it for this edition of Bruin News Now. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the BNN channel on YouTube, where you will find this episode and all previous editions of Bruin News Now and other student-produced programming.
Remember to follow the BNN Instagram for more news and sports updates. And join us next week for another special edition of BNN, this time filmed on location at the University of Mississippi in Oxford.
Emerson and I and many other Bruin student journalists will be there attending the Mississippi Scholastic Press Association Convention on Tuesday. I'm Maddie Claire Spence.
And I'm Emerson Irwin.
And I'm Bishop Kopacz, wishing you a happy Easter.